Hello again mga kaibigan. Thank you so much for joining me in this channel. Hindi pa tapos ang Alex Eala fever, right? In fact, it is really getting hotter in here. So after winning her first WTA 500 title in Washington, Alex Eala is already back on court, and this time it is at the National Bank Open in Toronto. And guess what? Panalo na naman siya. So Alex defeated American Alycia Parks in 3 sets. So 6-1, 4-6, 6-2. So she advanced to the third round of the Canadian Open. But guys, hindi lang ito another victory para kay Alex Eala, because if the name Alycia Parks sounds familiar, it should, okay? Because earlier this year sa Australian Open, Alex faced Alycia Parks in the opening round. And Alex absolutely dominated that first set 6-0. But, guys, Parks came back roaring. She took the second set 6-3 and then the deciding set 6-2. So Alex went from winning the first set without dropping a game to losing the match. Okay, fast forward though, 7 months later. Times it's about recognizing that moment where you lost the match before and responding differently when you get to go there again. And here's something interesting too when you look at the numbers. Because gaya ng sabi natin, Parks had 10 aces. Tapos si Alex, she only had 2. So Alycia Parks clearly had the bigger serving weapon, but Alex was much, much more effective once the ball was actually in play. And we've seen that over and over again dun sa Mubadala Open in Washington. Alex won 71% of her first serve points and 68% of her second serve points. So that's especially impressive on the second serve. So Alex protected her service games extremely well, winning 11 of 13 service bigger serve, right? But Alex was winning the match in other areas. Yung returning niya, yung consistency, her movement, she doesn't necessarily have to beat you and the same weapon you're using. She finds other ways. And Toronto sounded like another home tournament for Alex. You could see Philippine flags everywhere. And after the match, Alex acknowledged Filipino fans who continue showing up for her week after week. She talked about how proud she is to be Filipino and how much it means seeing yung mga kababayan supporting her wherever she plays. And this is becoming such fascinating part of the Alex Eala story. Washington had huge Filipino support. Now sa Toronto. And we're seeing opponents actually talking about the atmosphere surrounding Alex matches. And this isn't just a handful of people waving flags anymore. This is becoming legitimate crowd attraction. And let's think about what Alex had done over this stretch, because she came through Washington and captured her first WTA 500 title, right? Then instead of having a huge emotional drop after winning the biggest title of her career, she traveled to Toronto and immediately won again, the first one. Now that's 6 consecutive victories during this North American hard court swing. And para sa akin personally, that's one of the things I'm watching very closely. Because winning a tournament is really incredible, but then what happens afterwards, right? Can you reset? Like, can you deal with the attention? And can you handle players now coming onto the court knowing that you are the WTA 500 champion they want to beat? Against Sparks, I'm glad and very happy Alex passed that first test. Ngayon naman, yung next is McNally. And she is another American. McNally advanced after defeating Linda Noskova straight sets 7-6 and 6-1. And I actually liked what McNally said before facing Alex. She did acknowledge what Alex is doing for tennis and even mentioned Alex selling out stadiums. So that's good, right? But when she was asked what weapons she plans to use against Alex, McNally wasn't really about to reveal everything. Okay, basically, nice try, right? But she did say one thing very important though: variety. Okay, McNally wants to play the match on her terms, mixing things up, and that is to prevent Alex from settling into a comfortable rhythm. And she knows the crowd could be heavily behind Alex. And McNally said this will be a test of her mental routines, right? Trying to black out the distractions while also enjoying the atmosphere. So that's going to be another interesting battle because now we're getting to the point where Alex's opponents aren't only preparing for the tennis player Alex, right? They are preparing for Alex Eala plus the Filipino crowd that comes with her. So finally, didn't let history repeat itself. So she took control and won the final 4 games. That's the Alex Eala that I'm so excited to watch right now. Not simply because she is winning, but because we are starting to see her solve problems that previously cost her matches. Okay? From Washington champion to another victory in Toronto, and now Caty McNally is waiting. Alex Eala fever is officially crossing borders, my friends. Washington was loud. Toronto is loud. Mga kababayan, parang hindi pa talaga tapos ang party, right? What do you guys think? Can Alex get past McNally and continue this incredible North American winning streak? How far do you think can she go in Toronto? Let me know in the comments. And of course, laban, Alex! And I'll see you on the next video. I am actually getting ready to watch her on this next game. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.